The last stop on our vegetation tour is at elevation 12,200 feet. That's near the highest elevation reached by Trail Ridge Road, and it's pretty clearly up in the Alpine zone. It's also pretty cold up here. As I was recording this, even in early October, you'll see that there was quite a lot of snow on the ground, and the wind was blowing fast enough that once again I couldn't get good audio at this stop. So you'll have to make do with me talking over a still frame. You'll note that up here in the Alpine zone, it's pretty clear that there are no trees growing. It's simply too cold for them. There is life, however, in the form of a number of grasses and herbaceous plants, some of which you can even see in this clearing in the snow. There are pretty extensive environmental challenges at this elevation. Not only is it cold and windy, but there's a lack of extensive moisture. A lot of the snow that you see here has fallen, but a lot more of what will fall over the course of the winter is just going to get blown away. It's not really going to be able to melt and moisturize the soil. So what responses do plants at these elevations have? Well, several things that we've talked about. One is that most of these plants are growing fairly low to the ground. That keeps them out of the cooling and chilling effects of the wind. Most of these plants also grow as perennials rather than annuals, which means that as soon as the snow melts, they're ready to start growing once again. Spring or early summer up at these elevations is a burst of wildflowers, in contrast to the somewhat gray and dismal vegetation that you see here. Likewise, many of these plants are actually putting taproots fairly deep down into the soils, tapping whatever moisture they can find. Now, this is not the end of life in Colorado. We could go several thousand feet further in elevation, but you don't see a whole lot of plants and certainly no trees growing on the summit of the 14ers. Even though there isn't much of a nevel zone in Colorado, we do find a few scattered permanent snow patches or glaciers, and even on some of our highest rocks, communities based on lichens that are able to chisel out a measly existence at the highest elevation. As for us, though, this will end our vegetation tour.